Hey everyone, we've got a new player of the week selection on eFootball. Going to take a look at who we've got. As always, timestamps in the description for all the players. So if you want to hear about a particular player, just click the description. There'll be a link to take you straight to him. So let's have a look at who we've got. Starting as always with the lowest rated. So we've got Welinton, centre back. I'm not familiar with this guy, but let's just take a look. So we'll go for the negatives first. 61 speed. This guy's slow. That's a concern. 69 stamina, he's going to get tired quickly. That's a concern. And on the left, you don't expect a centre back to be good technically, but on the ball, that's a bit scary. Not great. So you can see why he's only a 4-star. But we'll look at the positives as well. Those core defensive attributes are strong, especially tackling at 91. The physical and aerial, also strong. So when it comes to doing what he's supposed to do as a centre back, he's actually pretty strong. He's a destroyer. That's his play style. Unwavering form as well is nice. Have a look at his skill set. Pinpoint crossing. We've got a centre back who can cross. Excellent. But the important stuff, heading, aerial superiority. So only 181 centimeters. So he's about 5'11", not the tallest, but his attributes, physical and aerial strength with aerial superiority skill, he should be decent in the air, to be fair. And at 88 kilograms, he's a strong boy. So he's got some physique on him. But yeah, good in the air. And then we've got a rising shot as well as crossing. Fantastic. Long throw. Some utterly useless skills there for centre back and penalty specialist. Great, even more. Now we get to the important ones: man marking, interception, sliding tackle, acrobatic clearance. So he doesn't have blocker. That's a bit of a shame, but he does have most of the important ones, and he's got some random ones that are frankly useless. But yeah, he's an interesting one. 4 stars, so you can't expect him to be too amazing. And he is slow and lacking in stamina. But outside of that, he does have some good strengths. The important attributes are pretty high, to be fair to him. I think if you play a high defensive line, that pace is going to kill it for you. I wouldn't risk it. If you play a low defensive line, you don't mind centre backs not having too much pace. He could be worth picking up, to be honest. Like I say, those important stats are pretty high. But yeah, it's just the lack of pace and stamina, and the fact he's frankly awful on the ball. He's got some clear weaknesses there, but there are some strengths. So for some people, could be useful, but not for everyone. Then our other 4-star, we've got Dovbyk. So we've got a goal poacher. He's about 6 foot. He's a bit of an all-rounder. If we look at his skills first, he's got heading, acrobatic finishing, aerial superiority. So you think it would be pretty decent from crosses. 83 physical contact as well. That does help in the air for aerial challenges. But jumping 77, 6 foot tall, heading 78. I think on the whole he's going to be decent in the air, decent getting on the end of crosses. But when it comes to the real physical challenges, when there's a centre back getting up close, challenging for the ball in the air, he's not going to be the strongest. He's just going to be kind of all right, decent but not brilliant. But yeah, for a striker, first time shot, acrobatic finishing, long range shooting, rising shot, he's got a shot on him. One touch passing, through passing, and nice for a striker to have, but his passing isn't great, so they're just going to compensate for that. He's not going to have good passing, just not quite as bad as it looks. On the ball, he's honking. That's not a great set of attributes there, so be careful with him on the ball because he's not going to be very comfortable with it. The important ones though, awareness 89, finishing 89. Like I say, he's got a shot on him with those skills. He can clearly take chances and he will get into good positions. Pace pretty average, high kicking power. I think really if you're going to put the ball, lay it on a plate for him, create chances for him, this guy is going to be, on the face of it, very effective at taking chances. But the pace isn't brilliant. Balance is pretty poor, not great on the ball. There are some weaknesses there. I think a lot of people are going to find this guy a little bit uncomfortable on the ball and just in general. So some qualities, certainly can take chances, but all around, I don't think that's a great card. Then our goalkeeper. And what a surprise. We have another goalkeeper who has some good core goalkeeping attributes and terrible jumping. It just keeps happening. I don't know why they're doing that. I don't know if they're maybe changing something in the kind of mechanics of the game where jumping just isn't as important, or I don't know. But yet again, they've been doing this for a while now. Terrible jumping on our featured keeper, but as I say, the core goalkeeping attributes are pretty strong. Awareness 88, reflexes 89, reach 89. The catching and parrying are okay, especially the parrying. If you discount the jumping, this is actually a pretty good solid goalkeeper, to be fair. So yeah, not much more to say about him. Not great at jumping, but otherwise very good at goalkeeping. I think that's just a solid goalkeeper card, really. And then we have Zakaria from Monaco. So interesting on this because normally an anchor man, they've made him a box-to-box. But they've also only given him 80 for stamina. So, yeah, bit of a shame, really, because if you're playing a box-to-box midfielder, you're going to want probably mid-80s stamina minimum. So, just like on his regular card, the Anchorman, with an Anchorman defensive midfielder, he's not going to run around too much. You can put defensive on him. You can get away with his stamina not being too high. But as a box-to-box, he's going to get tired by the hour mark, if not sooner. You're going to be needing to take him off, to be honest, if you play him that way. You might want to still use him as a defensive midfielder and put defensive on him. But he's still going to probably try and make some runs forward as a box-to-box. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, just to assess him as he is as a box-to-box. Good pace for a box-to-box centre mid. Great physical contact. Balance isn't brilliant, but he's a big, powerful guy, so you can't expect too much balance. Defense is pretty strong all the way down there, especially very aggressive. On the ball is pretty good. Passing likewise, I think they've kind of boosted all these technicals a little bit from his regular card. I don't think you can really get those particularly high on his regular card unless you sacrifice a lot elsewhere. Yeah, attacking awareness not brilliant for a box to box. And that's about it really. And then looking at his skills, I'm not sure what they've really given him here. Looks pretty much the same as his regular card. He's got the defensive stuff, the man marking, interception, blocker, really important skills for a defensive midfielder. As a defensive midfielder, even his regular card is strong. He's in the match pass at the moment, I think. Or was that the last one? That was the previous one, my bad. He was in the previous one. Picked him up from that. Very good as a defensive midfielder. One-touch pass, weighted pass, first-time shot, long-range shooting, rising shot. So he's got some attacking ones as well. And with his attributes being boosted a bit technically, he's got quality up and down the pitch, to be fair. I'll just say the attacking awareness is a bit low. And that stamina for me is very low for a box-to-box midfielder. So there are some weaknesses there. Certainly as a box-to-box centre mid. It just might be a card that's best still being used the way it's normally used as a defensive midfielder and just accepting he's going to make more forward runs than he normally would. So again, with the stamina, maybe put defensive on him, use him as a defensive midfielder. But certainly a lot of qualities there. It's an interesting card. Then we have Junior Ito from Rams in France. So interesting one. Didn't see the match. They've got him down as a centre forward and made him a goal poacher. Very good pace as you'd expect from Ito. Balance is okay, but not brilliant. Good stamina, very good stamina actually for a centre forward. Got good dribbling. Otherwise, okay on the ball, not brilliant. Attacking awareness for a striker is not great at 81. I'd like that to be higher. Passing for a striker is decent. He's normally a right winger. His end product as a right winger is a little bit lacking. But as a striker, that's okay. And then finishing 88 is good. So then we come to the skills. They've given him the most important one for centre forward, first time shot. So combine that with the other skills he's already got. He's got through passing, pinpoint crossing, which helps to make his end product a bit better, but it still won't be brilliant. He's got some nice ones. Heel trick, dipping shot, long range curler is a good one as a centre forward. And he's got super sub as well. So yeah. A pacey goal poacher, really. That attacking awareness for me just lets him down a bit. It's a bit of a shame, but outside of that, it's got a lot of qualities. And as a super sub, especially, to be able to bring a poacher on with the kind of pace this guy's got, the good dribbling, could be very effective. So yeah, outside of the attacking awareness, it's a pretty good pacey goal poacher card. And then we have Kang-In from PSG. So I was quite excited when I saw the teaser that they tweeted out, letting us know this guy was coming. And in many ways, it's a great card. But the one real letdown for me with this one, his speed at only 73 is not the quickest. Even on his base card, which is a 4-star, you can get his speed up higher than that. Just on the auto allocation, it goes up to about 78. So don't know why they made him so slow. That's a bit frustrating. But outside of that, acceleration is good, balance is good. You look at what his technicals down here. He's great on the ball, great passing. I think they boosted his low pass quite a bit actually from his base card. The finishing's decent at 79. Attacking awareness is okay, 76. Hole player. He's normally a prolific winger, I think, or maybe he's a creative playmaker actually, but he's a hole player this time, and that for me is a much nicer playing style. Down as an attacking midfielder, you can play him left or right, but like I say, they've not given him much speed. It's a shame, so I don't know how effective he'd be out wide. I think probably this guy's best AMF or even SS. Looking at the skills, the only one they've added is outside curler. He does already have some nice ones though. One-touch pass, through passing, low lofted pass. Got some dribbly stuff. He'll be nice on the ball. I've got a player of the week version of him from previously as a whole player. I think I'm probably going to be happy sticking with that, to be honest, because he's got more pace. That one was a whole player as well, but this one can play left midfield and right midfield, if you don't mind the lack of speed, obviously. Yeah, He's going to be nice on the ball, technically very good, got end product. It's just that speed's a bit of a letdown for me, but otherwise there's a lot of quality about this guy, so I think a lot of people will very much like this card. And then we have Doku. So a lot of people would have been looking forward to this. He had a great game for City. Not all brilliant though, so as you'd expect with Doku, crazy pace, good balance. His dribbling's crazy as well. He's going to be really, really good on the ball. Attacking awareness is decent at 76. They've boosted his end product. He's normally in the 60s in his passing and finishing, but it's still not great. Low 70s for all these. For a 5-star card, you want more. You're going to have to be very careful with your passing and shooting with this guy. Looking at the skills though, they have added first time shot, through passing, pinpoint crossing, so that further boosts his end product. Those are 3 important skills to give him. They've taken away heel trick and gamesmanship, I think. 2 fairly useful skills, but I think certainly these 3 skills to be added in terms of his end product, it's a pretty good trade, in my opinion. You've still got a whole bunch of dribbly stuff for the dribblers, the skill merchants. You're going to be very, very happy with this guy on the ball. But like I say, end product has been boosted quite a bit, and he's already amazing on the ball with his pace and dribbling. But as I always say, with the attributes being so low for the passing and shooting, just be careful not to ask too much from when it comes to your passing and your shooting, because they are quite low. But yeah, otherwise it looks like it's going to be a really, really fun card to pick up. And one other thing to mention, actually, they made him a creative playmaker. That, for me personally, is the other downside to this card. He's normally, I think, a prolific winger. As a creative playmaker, he just won't be as aggressive with his movement. What you find with a creative playmaker, when you've got the ball and you're kind of working the ball out towards the wings where this guy's going to be, he won't always be darting in behind the defenders, getting into attacking positions. Quite often, I find the creative playmaker out wide will just kind of hold back and kind of stand off, and just kind of, they want you to give them the ball so that they can then play make and pick a pass out. Whereas quite often I want my wingers to be the ones making the runs so I can pass to them. So it can be a frustrating play style for a wide man. That's something to bear in mind. I much prefer a prolific winger playing on the wings. But yeah, that's just me personally. You might not be bothered about that. Like I say, the play style, the lack of end product could concern some people. If they don't concern you, and if he's the type of player that you like, then this could be a fantastic card to pick up. And then we have our 1,342nd version of Bruno Fernandes. And he's in Player of the Week this week because he scored a goal. I've not really done much with him in terms of his attributes. It's the usual kind of build that you expect from Bruno Fernandes. He's not the quickest. He's not great with his dribbling or his balance, but he's all technicals. Good awareness as well, but he's got very good control on tight possession. Great passing. His finishing's not bad. Stamina's very good at 88. They've changed him from a whole player to a creative playmaker. Again, it depends on what kind of play style you like. He's very much an attacking midfielder. If you like creative playmaker as a play style, you could really like this card. I personally prefer his regular play style of whole player, so it's not one I'm particularly keen on. Some interesting changes to his skills. So they've taken away heel trick, gamesmanship, and penalty specialist. Some might be disappointed to lose those. Certainly, if you lose gamesmanship, it becomes less realistic because, let's be honest, he's a diving so-and-so. But what they've added dipping shot, weighted pass, and interception, I think. So some interesting ones they've added. Some people might not be pleased with those skills being swapped around. Others might be really happy. He's got the rest that you'd expect. His normal ones, long range shooting, one touch pass, through passing, and so on. Like I say, bags of end product. Yeah, if you like Bruno Fernandes, this could be an interesting version of him to pick up. Just depends on, like I say, the play style, those skills they've changed around, but certainly bags of end product, and if he's your cup of tea, it could be a great card to pick up. Then we have Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea. So, obviously bagged some goals against 9-man Spurs on Monday. The most important thing with Jackson, we'll get straight to it, they're giving him first-time shot. That's the most important skill for a striker, and his base card is lacking that, but he's been given it this time, so that's a big addition. Outside of that, acrobatic finishing is a good one to have, and then stuff on the ball if you like your dribbling, I guess. But this guy's a centre forward. He's 6'2". They've really not done much with the way his training points are allocated. Obviously, you can't train these guys. It's a pre-trained card, but from his base card, not much has changed. He's got pretty decent pace. His physical contact's okay. I think they've boosted that slightly. His aerials have been boosted slightly. Finishing at 89 has probably been boosted a bit as well. Attacking awareness is alright, 84. Not amazing, but it's good enough. On the ball, looks pretty decent. Passing, they probably boosted that a bit as well, but still not brilliant. I think he's just an all-rounder, the goal poacher who's decent. Not brilliant, but I think he's decent, you know. Like I say, the physical's okay for a 6'2" guy. He's not a big kind of powerhouse, but he's certainly not weak. The balance isn't brilliant, but being reasonable on the ball, awareness okay, but good finishing, decent pace, and now he's got a first-time shot. I think he could be a decent card to have as a goal poacher with a bit of pace and a bit of physique on him. Certainly Chelsea fans will be very happy with this guy if they pick him up. But yeah, all around a pretty solid centre forward, really. Then we have another centre forward, and this guy's better than solid. It's obviously another Harry Kane card. You know it's always going to be a very good card with Harry Kane, but he's a goal poacher. Again, it comes down to what kind of play style you like. I think, like a lot of people, I'm not a big fan of the deep line forward playing style for a centre forward, but goal poacher, nowhere in business. In terms of his attributes, it's just regular Harry Kane. It's what you'd expect. Not much has changed from his base card, except I think his low pass is quite a bit higher. The awareness and the finishing, brilliant. He's not brilliant on the ball in terms of mobility and pace, but that's not what Kane's about. He's just all about being intelligent, being in the right position at the right time to produce emphatic finishes. That's what he does. The heading and physical good as well. It'll be solid from crosses. And in his skills, one-touch pass and through passing have been added. So one-touch pass and through passing, along with 80 low pass for a striker, really good passing. Other than that, the usual skills for Kane, obviously first-time shot, acrobatic finishing, heading and aerial superiority, long-range curler. Just a really, really good goal poacher card. If you like your centre forwards to be pacey and nimble, he's not your cup of tea. But if you like a striker like Kane, he's got a bit of physicality about him, he's going to be in the right place at the right time, with really menacing finishing, not just with his shooting, but his heading as well, then yeah, I think a really, really good card to pick up. And then finally, Araujo from Barcelona. So this is an interesting one. Firstly, they've changed his playing style. So extra frontman, he's normally a destroyer. They've made him an extra frontman. That's the only major change they've made. Skill set, he's got a really good selection of skills for a centre-back. Heading and aerial superiority. He's got man marking, interception, blocker, acrobatic clearance, slide and tackle, fighting spirit. Pretty much the complete set. Brilliant set of skills for a centre-back. And then the attributes, he's got decent pace for centre-back. The aerial and physical strength are good. His defensive attributes, the core ones, are good. The low pass seems to have been boosted a little bit. But what's interesting is that I think his pace and low pass have been boosted slightly, but looking at his base card on the auto allocation, they seem to have actually nerfed his defensive attributes here. I think certainly the engagement is a few lower. So for me, looking at this compared to his base card, personally, I would rather get the base card and pay the GP for it because it's better. I don't really see much benefit to this one. It really, you know, you can train the base card how you like. You can give him, give him a bit less defensive and put more pace on him. It would be pretty similar to this, to be honest. I don't really see much benefit to getting this card over the base card in terms of the attributes or the skills. The only significant difference is extra frontman for the playing style, and I don't like that playing style on centre-back. So for me personally, unless I'm missing something, this is a disappointing card, to be honest. I'm not too keen on this one, so a bit of a shame really. But yeah, there we go. There's our selection. There's some not so exciting ones. There are some very interesting ones in there. I think certainly Harry Kane for me is the best card in the pack. I think that's a really, really good card. And now that he's usually a deep lying forward, I think having a goal poacher version will be a very, very nice card to pick up if you like Kane. But yeah, there you go. Interesting selection. So hopefully you found that useful. Thank you for watching. As always, I'll see you next time.